In this lesson, we're going to build the shoulders for the character. Alright, so our character needed some shoulders here. So we got around to the back, and we realized that we didn't want to continue right over the top, as it could create some loops that aren't going to be effective for the shoulders. So to get started with this, let's go ahead and create the loops that we need first, and then we'll start filling in from there. Alright, so the first loop that I need, if we go to our front view, is going to be right off of this edge right here. So hit 2 on the keyboard to go to edge mode. And we're going to hold down Shift, and we're going to drag this out. And we're going to drag this all the way out to the edge of the arm here. And we're going to do 3 segments, and then we'll go to vertex mode, and we'll start to match that up with our reference image. So pull that out to here, make that a little bit larger, and we'll leave this one right where it's at for now. Now let's go to our perspective view, and let's go to edge mode. Let's select this outside edge here, and then we're going to hit L on the keyboard to go to our left view. And we're going to pull that all the way over right here to about the middle of the shoulder. Now I'm going to take this vertex here at the bottom, I'm going to pull it over just to kind of straighten this out a little bit more. And then we'll take this edge, we'll pull that over, and then this one we're just barely going to pull over. Okay, just going to give that a little bit more of a slant there. Alright, so we started building out the front part of the shoulder. And this loop is going to continue out from the chest, and it's going to go over the top of the shoulder there. So what this is going to do is whenever the character lifts this shoulder up, it's going to allow for enough influence over these polygons here to make that stretch out. Okay, so whenever you lift your arm straight out from your side, the chest is going to pull. So that's what we're modeling for here. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to continue this loop into the back. So I'm going to select this edge, and actually let's go up, and yeah, I want to go from here to there. So with that, let's use bridge, and we're going to do 2 segments in the middle, so set that to 3, and then let's select these 2 segments. We're going to pull that out, and we're going to take this one and pull that out some. And let's pull this one out in the X just to make sure that that's nice and round there, and just start checking the different angles in your perspective view. So how does that look? You know, is it nice and straight? Let's go to our left view, and I'm going to go to vertex mode, and I'm going to take this vertex here and pull that up. Take this one, pull that up and out, something like that. So a nice flow from here to there. Now let's take a look at and see what else we need in this case. So we're going to go from this edge all the way up over the top, and we're going to connect over here again. But we have another set of edges right here across the top, so that might create a few issues. Now we've got this loop started, and it's going to work itself out, but now we have to figure out exactly which direction we want to go. What do we want to block in next exactly? Well, I want to go ahead and block in this set of polygons right here that go right over the top. That is going to start into the collarbone, okay, over the top of the shoulder, the trapezius muscles and all that. So let's select those 2, and we're going to use bridge, and we're going to use the same set of segments there. And let's take this up, and there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start blocking in this area right here. So let's go to border mode and select that border. I'm going to cap that, and then we're going to go to vertex mode, and I'm going to cut. So now I'm going to cut from here to here, and then I'll cut from here down, and then this one we'll go to right here. We may split that there, and looking at it, let's go from here to here. Actually, I want to go down to here. And then I'll take this one down to here. Now you might be asking, well, why didn't you go from here down to there? There was a quad there. Well, I also remember that I have a triangle here. So I'm going to cut from there all the way around the shoulder, and I'm going to end here. So that creates a nice little loop there on that shoulder. So let's go to our front view, and let's take the vertices that we can see, and we're going to pull those up right up to here. And then I can come in and I can go to each individual vertex, and I can start to pull those around and get exactly what I want out of that. I'm going to pull that down some, just start to create that little loop. And let's take this one, and I'm going to pull that up in the X and Z, and I'm going to push that in the Y a little bit, kind of flatten that out some. Alright, now in our left view, let's take a look at what we have. Everything is looking great. Okay, the shoulders, if we take a look at the topology, it kind of looks like this set of polygons is kind of coming back a little bit, and that's because that is correct. We're going to have our shoulders kind of pulled back a little bit in this. So we can take this, we can pull that a little bit further apart if that's a little too far for you. Okay. But you should have your polygons pretty evenly spaced. Shouldn't have any polygons that are just totally out there as far as how they look. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to pull that out. So just kind of splitting that set of polygons in half, rounding that out a little bit more. Okay, same thing here. So we still have our loops looking really good. We come in right across the top. We've got that loop coming over the shoulder, and which comes out around underneath the arm. And then we have this section right here, which is going to be the basis for the neck of our character. So looking at this, we would need to go to edge mode and take these polygons and bring those up over the shoulder here. So I could, actually very easily, I could take this right here and bring that up and over. But before I do that, let's block out the neck and where that's going to connect to the rest of the body. So let's go to polygon mode, and I'm going to select this one polygon and hold down shift and drag that out. Now we're going to continue to make this part of the element, part of this object here. So we're going to say clone to element, and then I'm going to go to vertex mode, and I'm going to select these vertices and put these right here on the neck. So we're going to make this polygon pretty slim. And then let's go to our perspective view, and I'm going to hit L on the keyboard. And I'm going to take these vertices and I'm going to match those up right there along that neck there. Let's go to our front view, and let me take this vertex, let me pull that straight up. And I'm trying to get this pretty flat right here. Try and get this started. Let's go to polygon mode and select that one polygon and pull it over to where it's pretty close to being centered on this side. Alright, so now with that, let's go to edge mode. And I'm going to hold down shift and I'm going to drag that out. Okay, we're going to start to create the polygons that we need for our neck. So with this one, I'm going to pull this up and right into here. And then we're going to hold down Control Shift and S to bring up our Swift Loop tool, or go to Edit, Swift Loop, and then hold down Shift, cut right in the middle of that polygon. So it should start to create kind of a round shape there. Let me pull this over a little bit. Pull that one over, and same thing here. Now on this one, I'm going to pull that back. Something kind of along that line there. Okay, so we've got this polygon started. Take this one, let's hold down shift and drag it out, and let's go around the back. So I'm going to pull this all the way out to the end. And then I'm going to take that edge and I'm going to pull it here toward the middle. So in our front view, let's pull it all the way to this point. And let's hold down Control-Shift-S to bring up our Swift Loop tool again. I'm going to hold down Shift, cut that right in half, and then take that edge and pull it out. Okay, so we should have a nice round set of polygons that go around this neck here. Let's hit Control-Shift-S one more time, and I'm going to cut right here. So hold down Shift to do that, and let's just reset these polygons. Alright, so now that we have all of this set, we now have a place that we can just go to whenever we start bridging all of this together. So let's go to Edge Mode and select these two. Let's hit our bridge settings and let's just set that to 1. Do the same thing across the back here. Set that to 1. And then now I can just go to border mode, select that border, cap that, and then go to vertex mode and start cutting. So I'm going to right click and cut, and I'm going to go from here up to here, and then I'm going to go from here to there, and then I'm going to cut from here over the top of the shoulder, and then I'll go down. Now before I go down, I'm going to come from here and I'll go straight across. And then I'm going to cut from here to there to there. And then we'll go from here to there. So we've got a nice set of quads all the way through this geometry. Now there is one problem area, which is right here. And this problem area, okay, is because of this n-gon. So one thing that I am going to go ahead and do is I'm going to cut from that n-gon from here, and I'm just going to split that in half all the way out to here. Okay, so we've got a nice set of polygons. All of our topology is nice and neat. And we're going to go ahead and straighten up this this area, making sure that everything's nice and straight, nice and neat. Let's go to our front view, and we can come in and we can pull down these vertices and really start to straighten this out. Now there are going to be some areas that are going to seem to be a little rough at first. I'm going to pull this back, and this one. Okay, just trying to even that out a little bit more. Okay, nice shape on the collarbone. Everything's looking pretty good. Now I am going to show you one really quick trick. Whenever you start getting into some of this topology that's a little tough to handle, it doesn't really look like it flows together very well, and things like that. What you can do is you can go to element mode, and hitting 5 on the keyboard will take you there, and then select all the polygons, and then we're going to scroll down and we're going to use what's called the relax tool. You use the settings here, and usually if you set it to about 0.5 or lower, it will bring all your topology together and really start to smooth it out some. So I like to go to about 2.5 or 0.25 and then hit OK on that. And that usually starts to bring things together quite nicely. Going above 0.5 is a little dangerous because then it starts to really tear up some of your detail, especially if you've got some detail that's very close together and it creates a specific crease or something like that. So you just want to be very careful. Okay, so now we have finished up the torso. Now what we want to do is we want to go to edge mode. Double click on the edge right here in the center on both sides. So double click here and there. And then we're going to convert our selection to vertex mode. So hold down Control and go to vertex mode. Let's hit F on a keyboard to go to our front view. And then I'm going to align these vertices right along the center. So we're going to use that make planar. And let's do our X direction. And that should line those up perfectly. Now with this edge selected still, let's go to symmetry. And we're in the X direction to start off. Let's hit flip, and that will give us our other side of our body. So now all I have to do is apply a Turbo Smooth to this. Let's turn on Isoline Display, and we've got a nice result here. So everything's looking good, nice and smooth, no weird pinching or anything like that. And now we've created the shirt, and we've also started on with the shoulders. So in our next lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to continue on with creating the arms, and we'll get started with that next.